Chosen one, do you know what it means to have been completely misunderstood during the most crucial turning points of your existence? I am not talking about simple disagreement where someone just doesn't see your point of view. I am talking about that soul-crushing experience where you carry something so heavy, so sacred, so real inside you, and every time you try to express it, the people around you look at you like you're speaking a language they cannot hear. You have felt it, haven't you? That moment when you open your mouth to explain what is happening inside you, and the words come out correctly, but still no one understands. They nod. They say they care. But their eyes tell you the truth. They have no idea what you are carrying. Let me reveal something to you right now that is going to completely transform how you see those moments of devastating isolation. It was not rejection. It was not bad luck. It was not the universe being cruel to you. It was the final examination. And exactly 9 nights ago, while you were sleeping, while your conscious mind was offline, while you had no idea what was happening in the spiritual dimension, you passed it. Not barely. Not by luck. Not by accident. You passed with such extraordinary distinction that the Celestial Council had to convene an emergency session to decide what to do with you. Because what you demonstrated 9 nights ago has no precedent in your bloodline. No precedent in your family history. No precedent in your personal timeline. And tonight, exactly at 4:44 in the morning, something is going to happen that only occurs when a human soul completes its spiritual transformation at the highest level. Heaven is going to commission you. I am not using poetic language. I am not giving you beautiful metaphors to make you feel good. I am revealing a real event that takes place in the invisible dimensions. A ceremony. A transfer of authority. A moment where celestial authorities officially recognize that you have completed your training and you are now ready to operate at a level of power that would have destroyed you just 6 months ago. Subscribe to this channel right now and activate all notifications. Because what I am about to reveal to you about why you passed that exam that breaks 95% of humanity, what exactly the hour of 4:44 means in the spiritual clock, what changes in your energy field after heaven commissions you, and what 3 specific signs you will experience in the next 24 hours to confirm your commissioning was successful. All of this is going to finally make you understand why you had to walk through that specific darkness that no one else could see. Write 888 in the comments right now if you feel that something invisible shifted inside you recently, but you cannot name exactly what changed. Stay with me until the end. Because I am going to show you exactly what you did 9 nights ago that activated the Celestial Commissioning Protocol. Why the hour of 4:44 tonight is not coincidence but divine appointment written into your spiritual contract before you were born. And what 3 supernatural signs you will experience in the next 24 hours that confirm your commission was successfully executed. But before I explain to you what is going to happen exactly at 4:44 in the morning, you need to understand something crucial about that exam you passed 9 nights ago. Because it was not a common test. It was not a simple evaluation of your knowledge or your beliefs or your religious attendance. It was a specific assessment designed to measure something that 92% of humanity never develops. Unbreakable character. Let me explain how real spiritual evaluations work. Not the soft, watered-down versions they teach you in mainstream spirituality where everyone passes and everyone gets a trophy. I am talking about how the universe actually tests souls before entrusting them with real power. There are 3 levels of evaluation that every soul must navigate before being given spiritual authority. Most people never reach level 2. Almost no one reaches level 3. Level 1. Tests of compliance. This is where they evaluate whether you can follow spiritual laws when there is external authority watching you. It is the most basic level. A child who behaves well because their parent is in the room. A believer who prays because their religious community expects it. A seeker who follows rules because they are afraid of punishment or hoping for reward. Most religious people operate at this level their entire lives and never move beyond it. They do what is right when someone is watching. They are faithful when there is accountability. They are good when there are consequences for being bad. But level 1 says nothing about your true character. It only says that you can follow instructions when you are being monitored. Level 2. Tests of conviction. This is where they evaluate whether you can maintain your principles when there is social pressure to abandon them. When your friends are laughing at you. When your family thinks you have lost your mind. When society tells you that what you believe is outdated, foolish, or offensive. A young woman who refuses to compromise her values even though everyone around her is telling her she is being too strict. A man who stands by his ethical principles even though it costs him a promotion. A spiritual seeker who continues their practice even though their community mocks them. Level 2 requires more strength than Level 1. It requires that your beliefs are truly yours, not just borrowed from parents or pastors or gurus. It requires that you have done the inner work to know what you stand for. But Level 2 still does not reveal your deepest character. Because at Level 2, you still have energy. You still have mental clarity. You still have the capacity to make conscious decisions about how to act. Level 3, tests of automatic character. And this, chosen one. This is where 97% of humanity fails. Because Level 3 does not evaluate you when you are alert, prepared, or aware that you are being tested. It evaluates you when you are broken, exhausted, devastated, operating on autopilot with no energy left to think, to choose, to perform. It evaluates you in that moment of complete vulnerability when your masks have fallen away, when your defenses are down, when you do not have the strength to act consciously, and you simply respond from whatever is actually inside you. This is like those hidden camera experiments where people are secretly filmed to see what they do when they think no one is watching. Except in Level 3 spiritual tests, not only is no human watching you, you also do not have the energy to watch yourself. You are too tired, too broken, too exhausted to perform integrity. You simply are who you are at the deepest level. And in that moment, your true character is revealed. Not the character you perform. Not the character you hope you have. Not the character you are trying to develop. Your actual character. The one that operates automatically when you have no energy to fake anything. And 9 nights ago, sometime between 11 o'clock at night and 2 o'clock in the morning, you faced a moment that put you in exactly that state. You do not remember it was an evaluation because you did not have the energy to recognize you were being tested. You were too tired, too broken, too exhausted to act consciously. But here is what happened. Even in that state of complete collapse, when no one was watching you, when no one would ever know if you chose differently, when you had every justification in the world to take the easy path, the selfish path, the comfortable path, you maintained your integrity. Maybe someone hurt you deeply and your automatic response was not revenge but forgiveness. Maybe you had access to something that did not belong to you and your first instinct was to protect it, not to take it. Maybe you saw an opportunity to advance yourself at someone else's expense and something inside you simply would not let you do it. The specific circumstance does not matter. What matters is that in that moment of complete vulnerability, you demonstrated something that made the celestial observers who monitor the evolution of human souls stop everything they were doing and pay attention. You demonstrated that your goodness is not a performance. It is not a conscious choice you make when you have energy. It is not something you do because you are trying to earn points or avoid punishment. It is who you actually are at such a deep level that it operates automatically even when you are destroyed. And that, chosen one, is the definitive sign that a soul has completed its spiritual transformation. Because here is the truth that most spiritual teachers never tell you. The goal of your journey is not to learn more information about God. The goal is to transform yourself so completely that divine nature becomes your automatic nature. Jesus did not say study love. He said, love your enemies. He did not say understand forgiveness. He said, forgive 70 times 7. Because he knew that real transformation is not in your head. It is in who you become when you no longer have conscious control over who you are. And when you passed that test 9 nights ago, when you maintained integrity in that moment of complete exhaustion, you activated something in the celestial spheres that has a specific name in ancient mystical texts. Spiritual graduation. This is not a term I invented. It appears in esoteric scriptures across every tradition. The moment when a soul demonstrates that it has completed its initiation cycle and is ready for greater responsibility, ready to receive spiritual authority, ready to be commissioned. Now let me explain why your commissioning is scheduled specifically for 4:44 in the morning tonight. Because that time is not random. It is one of the most powerful portals on the universe's spiritual clock. In mystical traditions around the world, certain moments are recognized as times when the veil between dimensions becomes thin. When the barriers between seen and unseen dissolve. When heaven and earth draw closer together. The hour between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning is called by many ancient traditions the hour of alignment, or the watch of the dawn. Why? Because it is the transition point between deepest night and first light. It is the moment when darkness has done its worst and light is about to break through. In this hour, something unique happens in the spiritual atmosphere. The energies of night and day, death and life, ending and beginning, all intersect. And in that intersection, powerful transformations become possible. But 444 has additional significance that goes beyond the hour itself. The number 4 appears in sacred texts and spiritual traditions around the world as the number of foundation, stability, and earthly manifestation. There are 4 directions, 4 seasons, 4 elements, 4 winds, 4 rivers in the Garden of Eden, 4 living creatures around the throne of heaven. When a number is repeated 3 times, it creates what spiritual mathematicians call a triple frequency or full manifestation code. 444 is considered in many traditions to be the number of divine confirmation, the number of angels surrounding you, the number of heaven saying, I am with you, I see you, I am sending help. And 444 specifically, as an hour, is recognized by those who study sacred time as the commissioning hour, the moment when the spiritual realm transfers authority to human souls who have proven themselves ready. Think about it. Throughout history, significant spiritual events happen at dawn. Abraham receiving instructions, Moses encountering the burning bush, Jesus rising from the dead, the disciples receiving the Holy Spirit. Almost always at dawn. Almost always in that threshold between dark and light. This is not coincidence. This is pattern. This is the universe using the only language it can to communicate with those who are spiritually awake, synchronicity. So tonight at 4:44 in the morning, while your conscious mind is asleep, while your ego defenses are down, while your body rests, the celestial authorities are going to execute a protocol that has been described in mystical texts for thousands of years but that most modern people dismiss as imagination. They are going to commission you. And when I say commission you, I mean they are going to do 3 specific things to your spiritual anatomy that are going to permanently change how you operate in physical reality. First, they are going to activate your spiritual authority. This is the energetic frequency that allows you to speak truth and have it land differently than when other people speak the same words. It is not about the content of what you say. It is about the weight that your words carry. Have you ever noticed that some people can say something simple, like, everything is going to be okay, and when they say it, you actually believe it? While other people can say the exact same words, and you feel nothing. That difference is spiritual authority. It is not charisma. It is not confidence. It is not public speaking skill. It is an energetic frequency that is earned through suffering, through testing, through passing the exams that break most people. When someone with spiritual authority speaks, something in the listener's soul recognizes, this is true. I need to pay attention. Even if their mind wants to resist. Even if their ego wants to argue. Something deeper receives it. You have felt this before. When certain teachers speak. When certain leaders talk. When certain people in your life open their mouths, something in you just knows that they are speaking from a place of genuine experience, not just information. After tonight, you are going to carry that frequency. Not because you are better than anyone else. Because you completed the training necessary to handle that level of influence without abusing it. Second, they are going to activate your energetic sovereignty. This is the spiritual frequency that makes you immune to manipulation, immune to fear-based control, immune to the collective panic that sweeps through humanity during times of crisis. It does not mean that nothing will ever bother you again. It means you are going to develop a core stability that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Like a tree with roots so deep that storms can bend it but never uproot it. Like a mountain that winds can scream against but never move. After tonight, you are going to notice that things which used to trigger you into anxiety, anger, or despair simply do not have that power anymore. Not because you are suppressing your emotions. Not because you have become numb or disconnected. Because you are operating from a different energetic foundation. Your center of gravity has shifted from outside you to inside you. You no longer need the world to behave a certain way for you to feel safe. Third, they are going to activate your intuitive discernment. This is the spiritual capacity to sense what is true and what is false, what is aligned and what is deceptive, what is healing and what is harmful. Not through intellectual analysis. Not through gathering more information. Through direct knowing. After tonight, you are going to start noticing that you simply know things without being able to explain how you know them. You will meet someone for the first time and instantly sense their true character beneath their social mask. You will hear a news story and immediately recognize the manipulation behind the words. You will face a decision and feel clear guidance about which path to take, even when your mind cannot logically justify the choice. This is not psychic ability. This is not fortune-telling. This is spiritual maturity. This is what happens when your soul completes its transformation and becomes capable of perceiving reality at deeper levels than most humans ever access. And here's what you need to understand about these 3 activations. They are not gifts given to you to make your life more comfortable or to make you feel special. They are tools entrusted to you so you can fulfill your specific mission in this critical moment of human history. If this message resonates deeply with your soul and you want to support the continuation of this spiritual work that helps thousands find their way home, consider leaving a super thanks. Your contribution, whatever amount feels aligned, creates an energetic exchange that amplifies these truths and helps them reach those who need them most. The universe honors generous hearts. Now let me tell you about the 3 signs you are going to experience in the next 24 hours that will confirm your commissioning was successfully executed. Sign number 1. Unusual mental clarity. Tomorrow when you wake up, you are going to notice that your mind feels different. Clearer. Quieter. Like someone took a cloth and wiped a window you did not even know was dirty. Thoughts that normally circle and repeat and exhaust you are going to settle down. Anxieties that normally consume your mental energy are going to feel distant, like echoes from another room. Worries that normally keep you stuck are going to lose their grip. And in that clarity, you're going to start seeing solutions to problems that have seemed unsolvable. Not because the problems changed. Because your perception changed. You are going to see angles you never noticed before. Possibilities you never considered. Paths you never saw. This is not positive thinking. This is what happens when your consciousness gets upgraded and you begin operating from a higher frequency where problems that seemed impossible at the lower frequency simply resolve on their own. Sign number 2. Deep peace in your body. Tomorrow you are going to notice a physical sensation of peace in your chest and in your stomach. A warmth. A stillness. A sense that everything is exactly as it should be, even if nothing in your external circumstances has changed. Even if your situation is still challenging. Even if your problems are still present. Even if the people around you are still difficult. Underneath it all, beneath the surface agitation, you're going to feel this current of peace that does not make logical sense. This is the energetic sovereignty activating in your nervous system. Your body is going to know at a cellular level that you are safe, that you are supported, that you are exactly where you need to be on your journey. Sign number 3. Perfect synchronicities. Tomorrow you are going to start experiencing coincidences that are too perfect, too precise, too meaningful to be random. You will think of someone and they will call you within minutes. You will need specific information and it will appear in front of you without you searching. You will face a challenge and the exact resource you need will show up at the exact moment you need it. You will see repeating numbers everywhere, 444, 888, 1111, not because the numbers themselves have magic, but because the universe is using the only language it can to communicate with you, pattern and synchronicity. This is not luck. This is what happens when you complete your spiritual graduation and the universe begins coordinating reality around you in new ways. Because now you can be trusted with that level of support. Now you will not become dependent on signs. Now you will use the help to grow, not to remain small. If you experience these 3 signs, write commissioned in the comments so others can witness your testimony and be encouraged on their own journey. Now I need to warn you about something critical that can destroy everything you have gained if you are not conscious of it. The temptation of spiritual pride. When you wake up tomorrow feeling that unusual clarity, that deep peace, those perfect synchronicities, there is going to be a temptation to believe that you are special. That you are better than others. That you have finally arrived and now you can look down on everyone who is still struggling. Resist this temptation with every ounce of strength you have. Because here is the truth. Being commissioned does not make you superior to anyone. It makes you responsible for more. It makes you accountable for more. It makes you useful in new ways, not important in new ways. Every person on this planet is exactly where they need to be on their own journey. Some are at the beginning, confused and lost. Some are in the middle, fighting through their own exams. Some are close to completing, almost ready for their own commissioning. But everyone is walking the same path of transformation. You simply completed this stage ahead of some. That does not make you better. It makes you a servant to those who are coming behind you. And if you allow spiritual pride to enter your heart, if you begin judging others for not being where you are, if you start comparing your progress to their struggles, you will lose your commission. Not immediately. Not dramatically. But gradually. Slowly. The 3 activations you received will begin to weaken. Your clarity will fog. Your peace will fracture. Your synchronicities will stop. Because the universe does not trust power to those who use it to elevate themselves above others. It only trusts power to those who use it to elevate others. So when you feel that temptation to pride, when you notice yourself starting to judge someone for still struggling with things you overcame, remember where you were 3 years ago. Remember the nights you cried yourself to sleep. Remember the moments you almost gave up. Remember how many times you failed before you finally passed. And instead of judging, have compassion. You are one of those examples. Not because you have answers for all the world's problems. Because your life demonstrates that it is possible to suffer deeply and still choose love. To be betrayed and still choose trust. To be broken and still choose hope. And when others see that in you, when they notice there is something different in your energy, something stable in the middle of chaos, something luminous in the middle of darkness, they are going to want to know your secret. And your secret is not information you can transmit with words. It is transformation you have lived. It is character you have forged. It is integrity you have maintained when it would have been easier to compromise. That is the teaching the world needs now. Not more pretty words. Not more spiritual theories. But living examples of real transformation. And tonight, when heaven commissions you, you are being officially designated as one of those examples. Your mission is not to save the entire world. It is to be a beacon of light for those specific souls whose journeys resonate with yours. And that is more than enough. So receive your commission tonight with gratitude. Wear it tomorrow with humility. And use it forever with integrity. Because that is what chosen ones do. Not because they are better than everyone else. Because they are reliable in ways most people never develop. They are trustworthy with the power they have been given. You are that reliable person. You are that trustworthy soul. And tonight, heaven recognizes it officially. All that loneliness you thought was pointless? It was your final exam and you passed. All that suffering you thought was wasted? It was your training and you graduated. All that darkness you thought would destroy you? It was your forge and you have emerged as pure gold. Welcome to your commissioning, chosen one. If you recognize that you passed your level 3 test 9 nights ago, and you are ready to receive your celestial commissioning tonight at 4:44 in the morning, write 888 in the comments right now to amplify that frequency of spiritual graduation. Every 888 you write sends a signal into the spiritual realm. Every comment strengthens the collective field of those who are ready to step into their next level. Your voice matters. Your agreement matters. Your testimony matters. Subscribe to this channel right now and activate all notifications. Because in the coming days, I am going to reveal more about what happens after your commissioning. How to operate in your new authority. How to recognize the people you are meant to serve. How to avoid the traps that the enemy sets for those who carry spiritual power. Do not miss these revelations. The enemy does not want you to receive this information. That is why your phone might glitch. That is why your attention might wander. That is why distractions are coming even as you read these words. Fight through them. Subscribe. Activate the bell. Lock in your commitment. Share this video immediately with someone who also feels they finally completed their spiritual initiation and are ready to be commissioned. Chosen ones need to recognize each other in this critical moment of planetary transformation. Send this to one person right now. Just one. Someone you know has been walking through their own darkness and is ready for the dawn. And if this message has touched your soul, if you felt something shift as you read these words, if you recognize that you are being called to something greater, if you want to support this work of awakening that helps thousands find their way home, consider leaving a super thanks contribution. Your generosity, whatever amount you feel guided to give, creates an energetic exchange that multiplies the impact of this message. It helps these transmissions reach those who are still in the darkness, still taking their exams, still waiting for someone to tell them they are not alone. Every act of generosity returns to you multiplied in ways you cannot yet imagine. This is not a promise. It is a law. The same law that governs planting and harvest. The same law that governs giving and receiving. The same law that brought you to this message at this exact moment. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are lighter. Together, we are changing the world, one awakened soul at a time. Your commissioning begins tonight at 4:44. Be ready.